that this particular chapter, terms, concepts, and their use in sociology, write down its name. Terms, concepts, and their use in sociology. Now, do understand this clearly in your head that we have to use sociological terms and concepts. Like when we are reading any disciplines, whether it's physics or chemistry or mathematics, they all have their own terms and concepts to explain the theories, right? So we may talk about simple day-to-day theories. For example, if I have to tell about that how marriage is breaking, it's very day-to-day point, day-to-day conversation. If I'm talking about religion, so you people already have understanding on all this part. But this is very common sense. It's a very commonsensical knowledge. We are not writing, we are not discussing sociology like that. So the way all discipline has its vocabulary, sociology is not doing something new. Sociology has its own vocab. So you need to understand that the relevance of concepts and the terms and their use in sociology will make your answer sociological. And let's talk now the business, that is UPSC exam, civil services, sociology optional. If you people have good clarity over concepts and terms, sociological terms and concepts, you would do really good answers in applied questions, inter and intra as well. Okay, so intra is paper 2, inter is if you people have applied question. For example, UPSC is framing question on economy, on economical institution, and then you people are writing answers. So we cannot write in a very easy language. This is the major challenge I am telling you. Major challenge. You need to write in a good vocabulary plus sociological terms. So today's lecture will be on that. So this chapter is explaining the terms and the concepts. Okay. So in the first chapter, it is just explaining the some point which I have already explained. We are not going to read the first chapter here. Write down from here. What are concepts? See, when I am applying or doing research, how I can do research? By applications, by research questions on concepts. Okay. So first of all, we'll have understanding on concepts. I am not going to teach that basic which is written in your NCERT. I am going to explain concept with reference to your paper topic 2 and topic 3. Okay, now imagine you people yourself as a sociologist. Now you need to explore some phenomena, some social phenomena in society. So what you people are going to research on? You can use any example. So you said changes happen around. Okay. So changes happens around. Can I use one word, one concept for it? That is social change. In fact, father of sociology, Auguste Comte, Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, We do not have any sociologist who is actually not talking on social changes. So social changes is a concept. What it is a concept, how it is a concept, what it is talking about, what are its characteristics, that we need to understand. Social changes means the changes in society. So the moment I am saying social changes, I am analyzing it with respect to economy, with respect to polity, okay, with respect to marriage, family. So societal changes. Societal changes refers to social changes. Got the clarity? Now think more. If you people are doing research on something else, please think about it. Any other concepts? If you people have to identify the problems of economical challenges in India, is there any topic in your head whom, like, on which you people are going to do research on? I am asking that, let's just say you people are doing research on economical challenges in India. So what can be the topics in your head which you people are going to research on? So now he said middle class. So middle class is a concept. Poverty is a concept. The moment I am saying middle class, in sociology, it is explaining one of the sections of a society that has this much of income, that has that, political structure, economical structure, and these middle class are having these social challenges or structure. Poverty, so again, poverty is a concept. So sociologists are doing research on concepts. So the way Newton has given us gravity, so he has given the concept of gravity. Gravity is a concept. Force is a concept. Push is a concept. Energy is a concept. Kinetic energy, mechanical, right? So these all are concepts. Do you understand it now? If I want to understand economical conditions, I can look into the poverty, as you have said. I can also look into the GDP, social changes. So marriage, again, it's a social institution, but again, it's a concept. Social institution is a concept. Group is a concept. Okay? You cannot go without concepts. So every discipline is made up of concepts, hundreds of concepts. Okay? So in sociology also we do have concepts. So if I am saying individual, so what is the meaning of individuals in sociology? If I am talking about society, so what does that signify? So as with organization, so as with other components. Okay, write down quickly on concepts. Concepts arise in society. There are different kinds of individuals and groups in society. So we are having different kinds of concepts and ideas. Okay. Marx are using concept called conflict. So if for Karl Marx, class and conflict were key concepts. So for Emile Durkheim, solidarity and collective insights. Do not forget to write this and write in a very subtle manner, because this is now going to help you in your advance as well. I'm explaining concepts and this is example. Now Karl Marx. I have used what? Class or conflict. These are concepts, and you and Karl Marx have focused on this. So as for Emile Durkheim, solidarity is a concept, collective consciousness is a concept, and these two concepts are keys. Concept for Emile Durkheim, UPSC में conceptual clarity is the key actually, not only in sociology, in all the disciplines. अगर conceptual clarity नहीं है, you will not be able to give an answer. If I am talking about empowerment, you should be knowing what is empowerment. UPSC, I think 2 years back only they did ask question on what is the differences between gender empowerment and also on equality, gender equality, and there was one more concept, gender equity. Okay, this question came in GS1. So you people are actually lucky. I'm telling you, मैं बहुत सारे options का analyze करती हूँ paper, okay, social sciences का, and I never say this for anthropology, though I teach anthropology too. Taking sociology is the good step you people have taken because you would say it's highly overlapping. तो जब आप कॉन्सेप्ट को शुरुआत से समझोगे, when I would be explaining family, marriage, kinship and all, then you will have the clarity on it. Okay, however, you do understand what NCERT is explaining right now in terms of concepts. Okay, so in the post World War II period, sociology was greatly influenced by structural functionalism. Now when I'm saying structural functionalism, it is again a theory which is made up of by concepts like functionalism. Okay, so write down structural functionalism, and you should be clear with the theory of functionalism. Now I'm explaining the concepts to you. Okay, Emile Durkheim basically has given this concept or theory that society is just like a living organism. Made up of different parts, and all these parts made up of different parts and these parts play different role for the functioning of entire organism. Society is like living organisms made up of different parts, and these parts play different functions for society to play a role. So religion is a part, family, marriage, economy, polity. Okay, so it is actually saying that society always works together for the benefit of everyone. whole. Okay, it is talking on togetherness. So this theory is broadly known as Kanish. कौन सी theory है ये? कौन सी theory है ये? सो रहे हो ना आप लोग? कौन सी theory है? हाँ? नहीं, it's not positivism anything. अभी जो थ्योरी मैंने बोर्ड में एक्सप्लेन करी है कौन सी थ्योरी है? बताया आपने ना अभी आंसर. कौन सी थ्योरी है? सुनो इसलिए क्लास को गौर से. हाँ, फंक्शनलिज्म, जिसको आप स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनलिज्म भी कह सकते हैं. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. सिर्फ क्लास में प्रेजेंट होने की जरूरत नहीं है. क्लास में अगर ऐसे पढ़ोगे तो फिर यू शुड हैव टेकन वो जहाँ पे 200 बच्चों का बैच होता है, 150 बैच स्टूडेंट्स, वहां पे टीचर को कोई मतलब नहीं है किसको क्या, मतलब उनको नाम नहीं पता रहता है. आई वुड नॉट से कि मतलब नहीं है, पढ़ा रहे हैं तो उनको चाहिए होगा स्टूडेंट्स को समझ में आए, बट दे कांट talk like that, you know. So the reason why I'm having small batches and particularly at this time so that I can mentor. So you do not have to present just physically. Be alert. Okay. So structural functionalism is a concept. And for Karl Marx, the concept is conflict. Okay. Clear? So within sociology, some try to understand human behavior by starting with the individuals. अब जब हम इंडिविजुअल्स पे फोकस करते हैं तो ये हो गया माइक्रो इंटरेक्शन. डू अंडरस्टैंड गाइस, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है. In sociology, if we are focusing on or starting our research on individuals, we are having micro interaction. इसको आप माइक्रो सोशियोलॉजी भी बोल सकते हैं. वही जब आप स्ट्रक्चर्स पे फोकस करेंगे, इंस्टीट्यूशंस पे, दैट इज मैक्रो. बट व्हेन यू बिगिन विद मैक्रो स्ट्रक्चर्स, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया आपको यहाँ पे, देन इट इज मैक्रो. कास्ट, मार्केट, स्टेट, इवन कम्युनिटी. ओके, सो वी डू हैव दिस ऑल्सो. बट अब जब आप सोशल स्ट्रक्चर पे फोकस करते हैं, macro interaction, this is macro sociology. Now what is the relevance of this? Okay, understand micro and difference between macro sociology. Okay, so Karl Marx, लिखो साइड में, Karl Marx is macro sociologist. Emile Durkheim is macro sociologist. Max Weber is also macro sociologist. Micro, Herbert Mead. It is mentioned in your syllabus. Talcott Parson, Robert Merton. Robert Merton is middle theorist. जितने थिंकर्स हैं, कार्ल मार्क्स, इमाइल डर्कहाइम, मैक्स वेबर, मैक्रो. Okay, Talcott Parson can also be considered as macro and also talking on the micro. Okay, and then you can say Mead, M-E-A-D, Mead, micro. Okay, so this is important for us. In future, you will need to have this clarity. So conceptual clarity तभी आती है. So the important point is that these classification and types that we discuss in sociology help us, and it is definitely helping us to understand reality. So ये क्या है? They are the tools through which we understand society's reality. Write down. So they are entry points in understanding, not the final answers. And then we do have three theories: conflict theory, functionalist theory, and interpretivist theory. These are giving us perspective. Interpretivism by Max Weber. Now write down social groups and society quickly. Now write down here that society is made up of different social groups. What we are understanding social groups. When do social groups come into existence? Whenever two people interact and share identities. दो लोगों से भी ग्रुप बनता है. So sociologists are understanding social groups. Okay. So in every society you will find social groups. So social groups are made up of individuals. You are made up of individuals. Okay. So this, let's just say this. They all are individuals and they do interaction with each other. Interaction का मतलब बात करना नहीं. They do interaction through social institutions. Sorry. Now, social groups are two types: primary secondary. Primary is group that you get by birth, like ascribed. Ascribed means by birth, like your family, your kin member. Secondary, you choose in the later stage. Generally come at achieved stage, right? So What is social group? Tell me, what is social group? Simple है यार. Social group is made up of different individuals and they are interacting with each other through social institutions. So when you people are born, you are born in a group of family, kinship, and then you are interacting through family institution, marriage, family, religion, and all that. So primary groups are, you are having more intimacy, you are more close, right? You are more close to your sisters, brothers, so you talk. And secondary group is, it comes in the later stages like association. Okay, so primary group can also be community and secondary group can be association. For example, you people become a member of some students association. Okay, so social groups, and this is actually your part also when we are going to talk about mobility, chapter 5, paper 1, then you will understand it better. So mobility, again, it's a concept. Mobility is movement. Okay, right now we are focusing on social groups. So quickly you will read about social groups. Any gathering of people does not necessarily constitute a social group. आप metro पे wait कर रहे हैं, it does not mean social group. Aggregates are simply collection of the people who are in the same place at the same time. तो ये क्या है? Aggregation. But क्या ग्रुप बनता है जिसको आप quasi groups कह सकते हो, but it is not a group. Group में you have identity, some sort of connections. So a quasi group can be aware of their identities and cannot be. Okay, social classes, status groups, age, gender groups, crowds can be seen example of quasi groups. Okay, please write down this. Quasi groups, age, gender groups, and all that. So you become a part of any group when you have a feeling of we. But class and caste have over a period of time give rise to political parties. Okay, so you people have to read. For example, individuals belonging to a particular social class or caste or community may not be organized as a collective body. They may be yet to be infused with sense of we feelings. But class and caste have over a period of time given rise to political parties. Likewise, people of different communities in India have over the long anti-colonial struggle developed an identity as collectivity and group, a nation. Okay, with a shared past and common future. Then you people can write down this in your notes right now. A social group can be said to have at least the following characteristics. Write down the 6 characteristics quickly. Quickly write down. I can give you 2-3 more minutes, otherwise people can just leave the places in your copy. Okay, rest of you who could not write, complete it later on. So then next please write down about social structure. Quickly, it's very important. Social structure here refers to patterns of regular and repetitive interaction between individual and groups. For example, marriage, religion, in all this social institution gives a structure. Society को एक shape देता है. Okay? So social structure gives shapes to society. So patterns of regular and repetitive interaction. So regular and repetitive interaction is what? It is like the marriage, family, kinship. It is there in earlier societies. When we have got society, it is even today. So what is social structure? Patterns of regular and repetitive interaction between individuals or groups. Okay? So a social group thus refers to a collection of continuously interacting persons who share common interests, culture, values and norms within a given society. Now quickly write down about social group. Quickly. I've already given explanation on a group, that in group we may have some connection, right? Okay, we feeling, so there can be a proper explanation. The groups to which we belong are not all of equal importance to us. Some groups tend to influence many aspects of our lives and bring us into personal association with others. The term primary group is used to refer to a small group of people connected by intimate and face-to-face association and cooperation. बस ये 3 words लिखेंगे. We have a sense of belongingness. So village, family groups, they are primary groups. Okay, written. Now write down secondary groups are relatively large in size, maintain formal and impersonal relationships. It's a goal oriented. Quickly write down schools, government offices, hospitals. These all are goal oriented. Written? Then write down community and society or association. So a community refers to human relationships that are highly personal, intimate and enduring, we feeling. And in India, we can have a perfect example of Khilafat movement. So in Khilafat movement, we have seen that how something is happening in Ottoman, okay, that इनको हटाया, फिर सारे Muslims को problem थी, that why it is happening, it was hurting their religious sentiments, that how this movement got initiated in India. And Gandhi ji too supported and used it as a tool for uniting the divide between Hindu and Muslims. So what is community? We feel very close. Okay, so for example, we are going to feel very close to NRIs. Okay, जितने भी NRIs हैं, उनसे we will feel close. So community, strong we feeling. The term community refers to human relationships that are personal, intimate. Society or association refers to everything opposite of community, apparently impersonal. Okay, commerce, industry. Then another in groups and out groups. So in group is those who belongs to us, part of our culture in group. Those who are not, out groups. So an out group on the other hand is one with the members of do not belong. And those who belong in group. Quickly, in group and out group. UPSC do ask question on reference group several times. Reference group is every people, every society has this tendency. We aspire to become like someone or like, any profession. So it's a reference group. So if I want to become like an IAS officer, so IAS officers can be a group. So reference groups. This is, you can understand reference group. Then peer groups. Many middle class Indians aspire to behave like proper Englishmen. Now peer groups. So it's a kind of primary group usually formed between individuals who are either of similar age or who are in a common professional group. So peer pressure refers to the social pressure exerted by one's peers on what one ought to do or not. So like your friends. So it's a peer groups. Okay, peer pressure पता होगा? What is peer pressure? What can be the peer pressure for UPSC aspirants? Peer pressure. Okay? That ये करना है, ऐसा नहीं करना. You may think कि ऐसा नहीं पढ़ना, but then aspirants community is like telling कि ऐसा करो, तो you get pressurized. So peer pressure, it is like that. Yes. Social stratification, this is part of your syllabus only. Social stratification and social mobility. This is your topic 5 of paper 1. And there are several other applied topics in paper 2. So social stratification क्या है? Very important concept for all of us. So see, let's just say we are having a society. Okay, ये हमारा society है, and there are different groups. These are different groups. Okay, let's just say here we do have 5 groups. Now, in the context of India, I have said those who have members of in group of Brahmins. I am putting into the hierarchy into the number 1 position, Brahmins. Okay, then I am saying same for those who are coming in group of Kshatriyas. Then same for Vaishyas and then Shudras. Okay, so what I have done, I have stratified them. I have given them some position. Some are higher, some are lower, and there are others who are not in the caste system. So grouping people on some ideologies and then giving them some status. So social stratification in simple term, it's mean divisions of society. So you will see in this world, we do not have equality in terms of wealth, resources. Social stratification is reality. Okay? What is social stratification? It is reality. So all nations are there and then we have divided it on some ideologies. So in a current scenario, if I'll talk about international relations, we do have three major stratifications. 4 developed countries, developing and underdeveloped, third world. समझ में आया? देखो सोशल सर्टिफिकेशन का एग्जांपल ऑन योर ओन. देख लिया? Okay, social stratification. Now let's see what NCERT is saying. Social stratification refers to the existence of structured inequalities between groups in society in terms of their access to material or symbolic rewards. The stratification can most simply be defined as structural inequalities between different groups of people. Often social stratification is compared to geological layering of rock. Okay, so he is talking precisely on social stratification. Karl Marx. Write down somewhere there in your paragraph. Karl Marx. Karl Marx is talking about structural inequalities only between groups in society. And what are groups? Have and have not. Now, why it is important? It is important because it is telling that how people are acquiring wealth and privileges. See, I even today as a sociologist also, though I do have religious explanation on this, but I do not understand. There are females, okay, who are similar in capabilities just like me. Okay, they are similar in looks just like me. Okay, but they might be in some tribal areas only struggling for survival, right? And there are some females who have again similar abilities but having all the riches or all the goods of life. Okay, do not have to struggle at all. I'm just sharing this. So don't you understand why it is happening, how it is happening? Okay, so you would see that there are teenagers and those who are studying in elite class or like that, and let's just say like good schools, or you may have your friends, so you might see that how much house or whatsoever house you people have or the wealth, and you may have some rich friend. Okay, so I do understand how it was, and I do not understand even today that some people who maybe do not have proper house to live in, and there are people who has house of 100 cr, 200 cr even sometimes. Okay, if there, I mean, you can go and see in Karol Bagh, there are some houses, it costs around 100 cr only, more than that, in fact. They have all the cars and all. And I do not understand why do not have. So it's like, religious explanation only says it that, this world is to test. So people have different test papers like that. But if I have to see sociologically, I would say that it's all about the chances and how humans have created this inequalities. So caste system is one of the examples in India. It's just your father or your parents are belonging to Brahmin categories. You are having inheritance not only of their DNA, biological, but also social inheritance, also status. The criteria of getting respect, why it is on the basis of your tagline, but it is true, you cannot deny it. Okay, you cannot deny it. So most of the UPSC aspirants are clearing this exam because they do have mentors. Most of you are struggling because you do not have mentors. I know there are lot many aspirants whom I know personally that they crack in one go, and that too in top rank. It is only because from the beginning, from class 9, they start preparing for civil services. And not like that, not just casually, serious efforts. Okay? 4 hours, 5 hours daily, they give to that study, preparing. कितने बच्चे, because I am a co-founder also here, so I do the counseling, मेरे पास उसकी भी report आती है. I do have students के parents, saying कि हमको 9 से ही कराना है, but we don't do it, but still they come. So chances क्या है, probability क्या है, although there are lot of probabilities work, but chances are that those who have started early and with lot of dimensions, clarity would clear it. So chances are that whatsoever wealth you people have, your children are going to have that opportunities. So social stratification helps us to understand that why some groups are having challenges. Is it personal troubles or public issue? If they are having, and what can be a solution to uplift them? Okay? And sociologically and in a bureaucracy, it is very important. That is why social cultural anthropologists and sociologists are being hired, because they can look in a deeper perspective the problems. Okay, so caste system is one of the dimension of social stratification. Class, gender, race, slavery. So wheresoever we are dividing social groupings on some ideology, it is social stratification. Please do write down quickly on this. I would be giving you break in 10 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes में let me just cover it up. So caste is a form of social stratification. You people are going to read on your own. यहाँ से आप थोड़ा पढ़ सकते हो, but I would say the underlying belief was that those who are most pure, the Brahmin priestly caste, superior to all others, the Panchamas, sometimes called the outcast, are inferior to all other castes. The tradition system, कभी ये क्वेश्चन आ जाए आपको यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स में, पंचामास. Okay, so Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, in reality they are innumerable occupations. और जाति, ये जो जाति सिस्टम है, that is given to us by M. Srinivas. Endogamy, marrying within group. Marrying within group. Then ritual. Avoidance of contact with members of so-called lower caste were considered critical for maintaining purity by the social upper caste. Changes brought in by urbanization inevitably challenges. A decisive observation below that you people can read it on your own. Okay. Then class again. So those society, write on this additional information, those society which are divided on caste lines are also called as closed society. Those societies which are divided on caste lines are called closed society. That's mean the scope of mobility is not there. Okay. अब ये जो कास्ट सिस्टम मैंने बनाया, Shudras cannot become Brahmin, Brahmin cannot become Shudra because there cannot be any mobility. पोजीशन नहीं चेंज कर सकते हैं, तो ये क्लोज्ड सोसाइटी हो गई. Unlike caste society, class society is open. लिखो जल्दी जल्दी. What? Here, mobility is restricted. Shudras cannot become Brahmin. Brahmin cannot become Shudras. क्यों? क्योंकि इनके पास क्या नहीं है? By position, जो भी इनका position है, that is given to them by birth ना. ये तो उनको by birth मिला है. तो by birth if they have got, so they cannot change. वो अपना position तो change ही नहीं कर सकते. So what it is now? Closed society. जहां पे movement नहीं हो सकती है, वो क्या हो गया? Closed society. Do like that. Do understand like that. वो क्या हो गया? Closed society हो गया. Okay? नहीं, that is lower caste से ऊपर जाते हो, it is hypergamy. वो हम अभी डिस्कशन नहीं कर रहे, हम ये नहीं पूछ रहे कि क्यों है ऐसा, हम बस ये पूछ रहे कि सर्टिफिकेशन क्या है. वी जस्ट हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. डिवीजन है और इट इज नॉट, वी कैन नॉट से कि कास्ट कम्युनिटी ने लिखी है, इट इज तो बहुत पुरानी थ्योरीज है, राइट. सो तो कास्ट तो नहीं बदलेगा ना. अम्बेडकर का कास्ट बदल गया क्या? हाँ, वो नहीं बदल सकता. Although we know that it was given to us by Brahmin only. वेदास किसने लिखी है? वो तो लिखा ही है. यहाँ पे हम डिस्कशन नहीं कर रहे हैं, because see what happened in sociology. If I would be just having lot of discussions all the time, then what will happen? Your course will not be finished because you do have lot of opinions. But now I am slowly and gradually coming towards syllabus structure. Right now I'm just talking about certification. Question is not on the critical manner. Question chapter is on the terms, concepts. So what is concept? Social stratification. In social stratification, what I am explaining, there are different dimensions: caste, class, gender, racial. Then now I am explaining what? Open society and closed society. So now open society, it means that you can change your class. You can be higher class, you can be lower class. But can you change your position in the caste? आप एक rich दलित हो सकते हो. आप एक पुअर ब्राह्मण हो सकते हो. You cannot change your status. That is closed society. But in reality, Harris-Kovitz, and not Harris-Kovitz particularly, but Sorokin argues that we cannot have absolute closed society. We cannot neither have absolute open society. Still, caste हुई ना बदलती है किसी की. Allow है, but you will always remain Shudra. Next generation उसकी बदलेगी क्योंकि फादर के नाम पे है. यार we are not having discussions here. Please stop having discussions with me right now. क्या हो सकता है, क्या नहीं हो सकता है, उसकी शादी बदलेगी, ये यहाँ पे आपको कॉन्सेप्ट समझना है. कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है ये बताओ मुझे बस. ओपन एंड क्लोज सोसाइटी में ये टेल मी दिस. व्हाट इज कॉन्सेप्ट इन क्लोज सोसाइटी? कैन यू चेंज योर कास्ट? तो ये क्लोज है. अभी हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि डेवलपमेंट. अब डेफिनेटली डेवलपमेंट चेंज हुए तभी तो इंटरकास्ट मैरिजेस हो रही है. डेवलप अगर चेंजेस नहीं होगा थॉट्स प्रोसेस में तो शादियां कैसी होंगी? थॉट प्रोसेस को चेंज करना पड़ेगा ना. बट यहाँ पे वी हैव टू नॉट वेस्ट आवर टाइम राइट नाउ इन हैविंग क्रिटिकल डिस्कशन. अदरवाइज एनसीईआरटी नहीं फिनिश होंगे. ठीक है, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस पार्ट. क्लोज्ड सोसाइटी सिंपल. इंडिया, क्या इंडिया कंप्लीटली क्लोज सोसाइटी है? नो. Sanskritization, what you are saying, what you people are saying, that's what I have said na. No society can be completely closed. Sanskritization, MN Srinivas यही तो कह रहे हैं. समझ में आया? Now the West society are claiming that they are rational, they have it is free for them to do like mobility class jump कर सकते हो. वहां पे भी नहीं है. Nepotism. आप अपने ही रिश्तेदारों को, अपने ही जानने वालों को हेल्प करते हो. ठीक है, तो ये बाद में पढ़ेंगे. तो प्लीज रीड डाउन ऑल दिस पार्ट. ओके, सो क्लास Weber argued might be based on economic relation. ये हम बाद में अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. I will not say right now, it will help you, but yes, you should be reading it. The functional theory of social stratification begins from the general presupposition or belief of functions. No society is classless or unstratified. The main functional necessity to explain the universal presence of social stratification. Do write exactly from your notes for social stratification. Now, what is status and role? So, you are a member of different social groups. In your family, what is your status? You can be a son, you can be a daughter, or a wife, or a sister, husband, wife, anything, any status. According to that status, you are going to get to play different roles. So as a mother, society has given you certain roles. As a father, society has given you certain roles. Okay? Now you can have multiple roles. You can be a brother and you can also be a student. And then there will be a conflict. I can be a mother, I can also be a teacher. So it's a conflict sometimes. Which role you need to emphasize on? Okay? What you people have to do? So there are multiple statuses we have and multiple roles. Do write down this quickly. So status thus refers to the social position with defined rights and duties assigned to these positions. Mother occupies a status which has many norms of conduct, responsibilities, and so on. Then as a teacher, brothers, sisters, I have just given explanation. You can read it quickly on this. Now, prestige is actually associated with this status. You become IAS officer, so it's a prestigious position. You are a teacher, doctor. It's related to your achievements. Modern societies are characterized by achievements. Its numbers are accorded prestige on the basis of their achievements. Okay. Then I have explained you role conflict. So status, and do write down these all parts where I am highlighting. Make your notes properly. Status and prestige are interconnected terms. Okay? Every status is according to certain rights and values. If you are a criminal, then it is a not very cherished status. Okay? It is a commonplace assumption that men do not face role conflict. So it is not like that. Even men face conflict. So Khasi matrilineal generates intense role conflict for men. They are torn between their responsibilities to their natal house on the one hand and to their wife and children on the other. They feel deprived of sufficient authority to command their children's loyalty and lack the freedom to pass on after death, even their self-required property to their children. The strain affects Khasi women in a way more intensely. A woman can never be fully assured that her husband does not find his sister's house more congenial place than her own. Okay, so role stereotyping is a process of reinforcing some specific role for some members of the society. So when we are stereotyping the roles that men has to do this, men and woman has to do that, that's a stereotyping. Okay. So expectations. So social roles and status are often wrongly seen as fixed and unchanging. It is felt that individuals run the expectation that surround social positions. Through socialization, individuals internalize social roles. How do we get the social roles? Through socialization. Through socialization, we are internalizing different roles. यहाँ पे आप लिख लो हर्बर्ट मीड, माइंड सेल्फ एंड सोसाइटी का थ्योरी. Mind, self and society. Then you have society and social control. Okay? So how society is maintaining equilibrium? How we do not have any conflict. So roles and status are not given any and are not given and fixed. People make efforts to fight against discrimination. Likewise, individuals' violation of roles are often punished. Okay? So we have given the status and we have given the roles. And now these status and roles are bringing social control. Just imagine if you do not have mother or father, if you do not have teachers around you, what you will feel. If you do not have mentors, what you will feel that you can do anything whatsoever you are doing, it's right. ये सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है बच्चों का. You need to control, social control. So religion is a mechanism basically to control wrongs of societies. Okay, so we are basically again controlling. We are basically again what? We are controlling. Marriage is a way to control desires on reproduction. Marriage is also giving control, power, positions with respect to children, right? So as polity and economy. तो जब तक आपके पास सोशल कंट्रोल नहीं होगा, you cannot bring social order in society. Okay, so one of the major roles of social institutions is also to have social control. So it refers to the various means used by society to bring its recalcitrant or unruly members back into line. Okay, so we need to understand the society can only remain in harmonious position. So for function यहाँ से आप लोग लिखेंगे अपने नोट्स में दिस पैराग्राफ राइट डाउन. For a functionalist perspective, social control refers to the use of force to regulate the behavior of the individual and group, and also refers to the enforcing of values and patterns for maintaining order in society. Social control here is directed to restrain deviant behavior. तो जो भी deviant behavior है उसको punish करना पड़ेगा हमें. Okay, so that in society we can maintain cohesion. Okay, यहाँ please write down in your notes exactly this paragraph. Conflict theories usually would see social control more as mechanism to impose the social control of dominant social classes. So they do not understand any institutions. For example, they believe religion क्या करती है, family क्या करती है, ये सिर्फ capitalism को grow करा रही है. Okay, you people, let me just complete social control, then I will give you a break. Social control refers to the social process. ये लिख लेना. Otherwise, you people will be in loss. Okay, underline कर लो चाहे. Social control refers to the social process, techniques and strategies by which the behaviors of individuals or a group are regulated. It refers both to the use of force to regulate the behavior of individual and groups. Now, do you have formal mechanism of social control and informal? So, mechanism of formal social control, law and state. Okay, but do you know that in we do have informal mechanism, family, religion. So these all are, tell me, informal social control. ठीक है, यहाँ से देखो. In every society there is another type of social control that is known as informal social control. It is personal, unofficial and uncodified. Now what are the agencies of social control? Quickly write down. Social control, family, religion and kinship. Honor killing. और यहाँ पे कौन है एजेंसीज? लॉ एंड स्टेट. अगेन आपके सिलेबस का एक पार्ट है डेवियांस. इनफॉर्मल, जब आप उसको लिख लोगे लॉ बन जाएगा मनुस्मृति. तो अब क्या हो गया वो? एंशियंट फॉर्मल लॉ. नाउ लिखेंगे सैंक्शन. Sanction is a mode of reward or punishment that reinforces social expected forms of behavior. तो पॉजिटिव सैंक्शन होता है, नेगेटिव सैंक्शन होता है. अगर आप लोग कभी शादी ही ना करो तो नेगेटिव सैंक्शंस मिलेंगे आपको सोसाइटी से. दे आर गोइंग टू कमेंट दिस एंड दैट. एंड द पॉजिटिव दैट यू आर living as per the expectation of society, positive sanction. Or those who are not living as per the expectation of society, they are deviant. Okay, it is written here. Deviance आपकी थ्योरी भी है इसमें पूरी फंक्शनलिज्म की. Which do not conform the norms of society, that is deviance. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपके लिए. Okay, so this is how we have completed this particular chapter. Okay, we'll be reading social institution, not right now. I would be discussing more on the previous chapter only. So कल हम social institutions पढ़ेंगे. Okay, now you people can take a break. go for longer period of time, I can give you 10 minutes coverage. 10 minutes के बाद मैं फिर से इन सारे concepts को एक बार रिवाइज करा दूंगी, but you will have to see it. Okay, how quickly people can just go through those topics. ओके, नाउ पहले मुझे बताओ किसी को कोई डाउट्स है? You people have to read once, okay? देखो terms and concepts. पहला social group. Social group is what? People who are living together and interacting. Now in group you have different types of group: primary and secondary. Primary groups: family, kin, school, friends. Primary. Associations, we are talking but we do not have, we have some objectives. Community, we feel, for example, anything happens to Indian, whether you are part of any association or not, but आपको उनके लिए बुरा लगेगा, उनके साथ कुछ गलत होता है, तो यहाँ पे emotions involved है. Okay, then what we are talking about, peer groups. Okay, then we are talking about reference groups. So these all are some concepts that help us to understand society. Now social structure. What is social structure? Repetitive fixed patterns. सोसाइटी उसी स्ट्रक्चर पे काम कर रहा है, जैसे मैरिज, फैमिली, किनशिप, ये स्ट्रक्चर देता है. देन सोशल सर्टिफिकेशन, मोबिलिटी, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. ठीक है, अब ये जो टर्म्स और जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, हाउ डू यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारे क्या इसमें हमको कुछ डिफाइन करने के लिए आएगा? रोल कन्फ्लिक्ट जैसे हो सकता है आ जाए. ओके, डिफरेंट स्टेटस, बट जनरली वी डोंट गेट सच इजी क्वेश्चंस. So you people have to sit and then read about these topics. Okay, the only research method topic, that is topic 5, I have told that it will be really slow, but this is the pace which you people have to learn for basics NCERT. Okay, तो इसको आपको एक बारी बैठ के पढ़ना होगा, तब आपको समझ में आएगा. इसके लिए बेसिक नोट्स जहां जहां मैंने हाईलाइट करा है वो आपको करना है. Okay, now tell me any doubts, any discussion you people now can make. Any discussion? You were having any questions in mind? हाँ जी, कोई भी डाउट चल रहा है दिमाग में? यस, पढ़ाई स्टार्ट करोगे, थोड़ा और नोट मेकिंग करोगे, जो भी डाउट्स आता है इमीडिएटली क्लास में आके मुझे बताओ. ओके, व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. अच्छा, तुम आदित्य कैसे ये जो तुम्हारा 10-15 मिनट्स का मिस होता है कैसे कवर अप करते हो? हाँ, तो 10 to 15 मिनट देख लिया करो, जनरली उसमें डाउट्स ही होते हैं. ओके, अगर आप इस स्पीड से कंसिस्टेंसी बना के रखोगे, जैसे आपको ये टॉपिक पूरा सर से नहीं गुजरा होगा, मैंने इतनी पेस में पढ़ाया है तब भी. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. वो इसीलिए आया है क्योंकि आप लोगों ने जो फर्स्ट टॉपिक था, जो इनिशियल टॉपिक था, उसको अच्छे से बैठ के समझा है. और आप में से सब ने, मुझे इतना तो 110% इट इज देयर ऑन योर फेस दैट यू पीपल आर डूइंग रीडिंग. अगर नोट मेकिंग नहीं भी कर रहे हो तो रीडिंग तो कर रहे हो, वो क्लैरिटी मुझे दिख रही है. अब जिसका जो लेवल है उसका वैसे ही इंप्रूवमेंट होगा, लेकिन इंप्रूवमेंट जरूर होगा, ये गारंटी है मेरी. Okay, it is my guarantee that you will find holistic development and improvement in you with respect to your UPSC preparation. You would see that your personality is also going to be more enhanced. You will be more confident. You would be speaking more in classes now. Okay, you will have opinion. और एक टाइम के जब बाद आपका मैं बेसिक ओपिनियन बन जाएगा ना आपका क्लास में, जब आपका एक सोशियोलॉजिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग बन जाएगा, फिर आप अप्लाइड में देन वी कैन हैव डिस्कशन. डिस्कशंस आर इम्पोर्टेंट इन सोशियोलॉजी, ऐसा नहीं है. जो डिस्कशन अभी आप कर रहे हो बट इस लेवल पे नहीं, पहले आपको सोशियोलॉजी आनी चाहिए ताकि आप कॉन्फ्लिक्ट पर्सपेक्टिव, फंक्शनलिस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव, इंटरप्रेटिव, उसको अप्लाई करोगे, फिर डिस्कशन करोगे. अभी इट्स गोइंग टू बी नो यूज फॉर मी टू इवन हियर, क्योंकि आप अभी बहुत ही शैलो अंडरस्टैंडिंग से ओपिनियन बताओगे, वो मेरे कोई काम का नहीं है उसमें. ठीक है,
तो बेटा उसे कितना लग.
टॉपिक 4 कंप्लीट जहां मैंने कर दिया, पेपर 1 के कुछ टॉपिक्स मैंने कंप्लीट कर दिए. उसके बाद मैं देखूंगी आपके डिस्कशन, और तब आप एक फ्रूटफुल लर्नेड पर्सन की तरह डिस्कशन करोगे. दैट इज वाई यू कैन सी कि इंटायर December will be your basics only, but again it will be not that basic. और उसके बाद जनवरी फरवरी 2 months में आपका 70% सिलेबस विल बी कवर्ड. स्ट्रैटेजी आपको फिर और ऐसे समझना होगा कि किस तरीके से बनानी है. ठीक है. यस, एनी डाउट्स यू पीपल हैव, डू लेट मी नो. बाय द वे, व्हाट इज सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन? थोड़ा बहुत तो पता होना चाहिए. दैट विल डू इट टुमारो. व्हाट इज सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन? But if I want you to define social institutions, what you will say? Fixed patterns of activities that later takes a shape, fixities. It's a culture. So culture, whatsoever you people are doing, when it becomes a, you can say pattern. This is what you can define for social institution. But देखो social institution के लिए पूरा एक अलग chapter है NCERT का. इससे आप लोगों को पूरी तरीके से क्लैरिटी आनी चाहिए that though it's a concept, but you have a full chapter on it. You have a full chapter on it. So you should be knowing कि social institutions कितना important है sociology के लिए. Just a moment. Okay? Yes. बताइए, कोई भी डाउट है तो प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन कोई डिफाइन कर सकता है मुझे अब इन इंग्लिश? Social institution refers to a fixed pattern of activities that takes a shape in the form of social structure. Okay? Marriage, family, kinship, religion, economy. So these all are social institution. Here what is happening? There is a interaction between individuals and society. So when we are born in a society, we are interacting through these social institutions. Family is a social institution. So in family there are components: mother, father, children, this and that. Okay? Then you are growing up, you become a adult, then you marry, then again marriage is a social institution. Education is a social institution. All these are social institutions. Okay? It's very important. Very important. Okay? Chaliye. If you people don't have doubts, fine.